Recently, I went to my second scientific conference, the American Society of Human Genetics Conference, this year held in Vancouver. I went to this same conference last year in Baltimore, and it was incredibly stressful. It was my first big scientific conference, and I just felt like I had to go to everything, and I had to see everything. And that is super overwhelming at a conference like this because there are sometimes 6 concurrent sessions. There is no possible way to take everything in. So this year, I tried to calm down a little bit and only go to the things that I really wanted to go see and really absorb them, and also film a little bit of a travel vlog. This was my first time in Vancouver, which was beautiful, and the conference was held at the conference center right on the water, so it was pretty easy to get distracted by the surroundings. There are lots of different things happening all at once at the conference. There are talks, there are poster presentations, there's a giant exhibit hall where vendors are trying to sell all of their different lab supplies, and I also met the robot that is one day going to replace me. Just kidding, graduate students are way less expensive than robots. No, I certainly couldn't film the talks or actually any of the other posters. People are presenting their work, often for the first time at this conference, and so it would be very rude of me to then, take a video of it and put it up on the internet. I can't bring you to the talks, but I promise you there were very, very many of them. But I can show you my poster, which I hung up on the first day and then presented a little later, and I felt okay about it. I actually had someone come up and ask if the work was published, which made me feel really good because A, they thought that I could publish what I had, and B, they wanted to read it if I did publish it, so that was pretty exciting. I set a conference goal this year for myself to go up and ask a question after one of the talks, because there are often talks followed by Q&A sessions where the moderators will ask for questions from the audience. And I always so admire the people who go up and ask questions because A, I think that most of science is learning how to ask good questions, and so I'm always just impressed by them that they've listened to this talk and then thought up a cool question about it, and B, because it's terrifying to have to then walk up to the microphone in front of people and ask your question, because what if it's actually a stupid question and everybody is going to laugh at you? But I set this goal for myself this year and I did it. I went to a talk and I had a question in the middle of the talk, and I told myself, this is it. This is your moment. You have a legitimate question that you want to ask. You gotta go up there and do it. And I did, and it was terrifying, and I was literally shaking, and I'm not often someone who gets nervous speaking or at a microphone, clearly, but I was so nervous that I actually stumbled while I was asking the question, and I think the speaker realized that I was nervous because I'm a crazy person, but I did it, and I asked the question, and then I sat back down and I shook for a little while, but I was just proud of myself that I made myself go up there and do it. Conference success. Sometimes people joke about science conferences being excuses for scientists to go to cool places. And I think that in some way that is true. I'd never been to Vancouver before. I was excited to go, but I think that at least last year I was so nervous about the conference and really having this feeling of anxiety over the fact that I couldn't go to everything that I didn't step back and enjoy it as much as I could. And I think I did a little bit better job of that this year, of going to talks that I was interested in and really absorbing the information a little bit better because I wasn't overwhelming myself, and then also, sometimes having a little bit of fun after the sessions. So conferences are a chance for scientists from around the world to come together and share their knowledge and share new ideas, and also sort of be in the same place. It's often a lot easier to talk to collaborators or set up collaborations or share ideas when you're sort of wandering through the poster session, eating an ice cream, and bump into somebody and just chat about their science. That is a great thing that doesn't often happen when we're all sort of away here in our labs, not communicating with each other as easily as if we're eating ice cream by a poster. Before I went, I tried thinking about this conference as an opportunity to step back from the day-to-day events in lab and how all of my experiments are going, to really sort of remember why I love genetics and to think about all of the different things that people are doing in genetics, because I think it's so easy in lab to focus in really narrow on just my project that it's sometimes easy to forget the scope of everything that happens in genetics. So I think I did a pretty good job of doing that at this conference, of reminding myself of all the other stuff that's out there and sort of absorbing things that might be relevant and helpful to my project, but also absorbing things that are just cool about genetics. I tried to go to a bunch of sessions that didn't relate to me, but I thought were just cool. I may not still have this whole conference thing figured out. I still think I could be doing it a little better. I could be getting a little bit more out of it, but I think I did a better job this year, and I'm looking forward to going to another one in 3 weeks. Fall is all about science travel. Let me know if you want to see more science travel vlogs in the comments down below, and hopefully I will be able to continue doing them as I continue going to more conferences and talking about my science to more people. Go forth and do science in cool new places.